Hey, this is Matt. Once again, we're about to another video, and this is a paid request from Marv B. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested in requesting any type of videos, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below, and the info box down there or over there. It could be pretty much any type of video. But this is for the 2024 film In a Violent Nature. Now, I heard of this film. And it seems to be one of those either people love it or they really hate it. Now, before I get to that, the setup of the film is pretty simple. It's a slasher film. But the best comparison, the best description I saw was if Terrence Malick directed a slasher film. I just see a lot of people, understandably so, being very bored with the movie. I'll admit there were times when, even though I had a short running time, I was getting a bit antsy at times. I will admit. But I did like the gimmick enough that overall I did enjoy it. I think the ending lets it down a bit. Not because it's downbeat or anything. No, it's just the air is let out of the tires for like the last 10 minutes. I think that's the movie's biggest mistake. Because any amount of possible tension or intrigue, this long dialogue thing happens for like, again, 10 minutes. And again, imagine put the air out of the tires and you go, why did they do that? I thought that was a very stupid thing to do. So to me, that was the worst thing about it. But I liked it. I would say overall I liked it because I've seen a lot of slasher films, a lot of different types of slasher films. And granted, there's a lot I've seen that I like better than this. Behind the Mask, The Rise of Leslie Vernon, many Friday the 13th, Elm Street. It's a lot of films. I mean, I would say I probably even like Thanksgiving with Eli Roth more than this. With that said, I appreciate that. Okay, there's been so many slasher films. Let's try to do it a different way. And that went a long way for me personally. What is that different way? Again, the spoilers. What if it was like a video game where you follow the killer and for the most part you never leave the killer? So there are times when the camera's on this locket, it is part of the killer's backstory, and you just hear dialogue from people, and then someone takes it, and the camera sits there, and it sits there, and it sits there, and you start hearing something. You hear more stuff going on, you hear more stuff going on, and then you see the ground, and it pulsates, and something comes out, a hand comes out, and then you see the guy, the killer, come out, and many times it'll be behind his back, like a video game, walking, and the camera's following along with him. So there's a lot of walking scenes. I mean, this is almost like not many movies I could think of that's a walking simulator like video games are, but this is close. Granted, not as much as Jerry, that Gus Van Sant film with Matt Damon, but that's what I mean. I just see people getting a bit antsy, bored with that, to see a guy walking and walking and walking. I perfectly understand that. But it made for at least a different feel for a slasher where we really are with this killer and just, well, what would Jason Voorhees be like just going about his business? Okay, he's walking and he's staring, and we'll like hear conversations that this figure hears, and we'll see from his point of view of who he's looking at and overhearing conversations. They do little sputterings of the plot of the backstory because of that. Like there's a bit where he's come across this place in the middle of nowhere, and there's like these two guys arguing, and you see him kind of, the killer look, and then he's going around back. He's going to the back door into the front part of the house, and we also get his perspective. So like he looks in the mirror, and we see what he thinks he sees, which is his father, and talking about how this locket was from your mother. And then you see someone shoot a gun and say, "I told you to get out of here." But then when the figure comes up, this guy was thinking it was someone else. "What the hell you are?" And you see this figure slowly walk towards him. And I say there's a lot of moments that were done fairly subtle, fairly quiet, because there's no music until the end credits. But there's no music, no score. And it's done this way where it's done like 4:3, like full frame, like not widescreen but full screen. As he was, I wouldn't even say that, not full screen. Just 4:3 is more accurate. 4:3. So kind of like how you see a lot of these films on VHS back in the day. And at times it feels like a nature documentary. Except you're not following a bear, you're following this killer. Which I think his name was Johnny. And like I said, they do have the requisite campfire scene. And I guess they knew that they couldn't 100% of the time follow the killer, so every once in a while it breaks its rule and it goes like up close to the campers. Or not the camp, but the people in the campfire telling the story and stuff. There's a part of me that wished they would have committed 100% to following the killer and never leaving his side. You do time lapses, which it does, where like if he's walking, they're cut to he's been walking, but you see the sun has gone down a bit. They're cut to he's walking, but now it's nighttime. You could do that. I kind of wish they committed 100% to. But a good chunk of it is that. And there's some, like this director, I thought had some really nice, interesting shots. To get more into spoilers, to spoil. I did like the bit where I said he went to this house earlier on and the guy shot and he realized it was the wrong guy. To stare the guy, but he's like, "Who the hell are you?" So you see like the guy getting away and like, oh, there's no way our killer's going to catch him. But then it cuts to the guy fell into one of his traps that he laid out there. So his own doing by accident, and you see the killer go up. And I do like this bit where you see the killer's hands reach out towards the guy, and then in pretty fluid cut, it cuts to he's back to the house and his hand's still going to pick up this locket, which he realizes is the wrong locket. It's not the locket he was looking for. But you also see that his hands are bloody. And he does walk back over there, and you do see, like, if you pay close attention, you see the guy's remains, where I guess he, like, took the guy's eyes, and there's, like, an arm lying on top of the thing. This pile lying over here as well. It does have some good kills. Not every kill is great as in memorable, But there is some very good gore in this. I'll say that. If you like gore, it's not going to be the goriest movie you've seen, but there is some good gore in there. And there's one or two that, well, one in particular is just so ridiculous I had to laugh, but it was entertaining as well. Now, when you do overhear the other characters, there's really no reason for you to root for them. It's just that it's really I'm sure that's the purpose of it, but it's just insipid dialogue of, well, that guy's going to get those gas station lit girls. What? Yeah, that'll say, fill her me up, fill her up. Yeah, fill me up, please. Yeah, fill me up. Yeah, fill me up, fill me up. Or again during the campfire scene where they go a little bit of the PC, like they want to say the read to the T to the ARDED. Like they want to say that, but then they can't, and like, oh, you'll get canceled or something. It's like, okay, do we have to bring that into this? But thankfully, they don't do a whole lot of it. But I said the character, and that's what I mean. Like there are flaws I have with it. But I said the concept and the kills and the way it's shot at times, and some of the transitions and some of the nature documentaries type of good looking shots. Looking at the slash film in a different way, different direction, when there's so many slash films out there, I appreciate someone do something a bit different. Like I said, I wish the characters, others were a bit better written, and little nitpicks here and there, especially the ending. But again, spoiler. I did say spoilers. There's some good kills. There's a guy where our Johnny takes his thing and puts it against the guy's mouth and keeps going, and it cuts the guy's head here, and it plops off. Done practically, which looks really good. There's a bit where the goriest one where he punches a hole through this Yoda girl. But not only that, well, she's dead. Turns her around. Puts like this, I forget what it was, like hood thing on her head. Pulls it through the hole in her stomach so her neck goes down like this. And with its strength, it breaks off and the head comes through the stomach. And I'm like, what the hell did this girl do to make you that pissed off? I guess he really hates the yoga. Maybe try DDP yoga. I don't know. But I said, not every kill is gory, but even there's some that at least is done interesting. Like we've seen slasher films where someone's in the lake and the killer pulls the person down. But I kind of like the way it was shot, where we see it from very far away, and the woman's like this big, because it's so far away, and we see and get the idea. And then it's like silent, and you're wondering what's going to happen next, and then you see the body just float up. And then in the back, you just see the guy walk up and out of the water. I didn't kind of like if you're watching like a bear attack or something. Like, and because there's no music, it makes it seem like a bit creepier. So I get what the director was going for, and I actually don't mind it. Again, even shots where later on, I like this bit where we see that he does this horn trick where he kind of goes up, takes something, and puts it in the car to make the horn go, and then you see him turn around and kind of wait for the person to get there. Then he's going up and get behind the guy to try to kill him. Or there's a bit where you see him after getting shot, get up, he grabs something, we see him throw an axe, and it's like from a top-down perspective. So we see like him throw the axe, and we hear something. So when he walks, we reveal the axe went into a guy's head, while this other guy, he's screaming for help, he's hurt, and then Johnny gets his rock and just squishes the damn head like a grape. Again, good practical effects are brutal and gory. There's a person later on where they get, I would say, kind of paralyzed, but then Jason takes the guy's body to this logging machine where, again, because it's shot in a certain way, it makes it feel a bit more uncomfortable where, like puts the body here and you see the saw slowly go and cut the guy's arm off or cut the guy's head off. Because of how like slow, deliberate it is, it makes it seem, maybe for people it would seem less fun. There's this one bit where a guy gets a pretty brutal axe to the head. Because he does one of those, come on, you pussy, like, come on, you ugly. And this guy he didn't want to do it to. He's like, like, even I'm like, damn, I'm wincing, like, Jesus. Again, like an animal, just pounding on the guy. So again, I appreciate at times pretty brutal, grisly gore and the solid makeup effects and the nice way it's shot. Again, the 4x3 and no music and certain ways they play up with how far we are from these characters or how we're with the point of view. So like there's a bit where this guy goes up to this ranger station and we slightly hear someone talking about, what'd you do, huh? You took the locket? And kind of explaining for the audience. But it's kind of interesting, like, what would a slasher film be if you were, again, from like Jason Voorhees' perspective, and the Friday the 13th would be what the other characters are doing. I also don't mind his outfit, because he goes to the park station earlier in the film. I did like the bit where he one of the first people he kills, he actually takes the body and is dragged along with it. Kind of like he's ready to prop it up or something. There's part of me thinking he was going to do one of those, like Jason Voorhees in them, or even Michael Myers. They place a body in a certain way and decorate it or put in someone's way. I thought they were going to do a bit more of that. But at the same time, it did create some intentionally funny moments. Or at least like brutal. Like when he gets to the park ranger station and he's got to open this glass case because there's like a nifty mask and weapons. He just takes the dead body and just throws it. Might as well. To them, it's just a piece of meat, a prop. And it's kind of a cool looking, I guess, like old time fireman mask. And an axe and what's that called? Drag hooks? Drag hooks. Okay. I don't mind the outfit of it. Even when before that you see a little bit of the Johnny's face, I thought that makeup was pretty decent. And they did these little tiny moments that you get a little bit inside the guy's head. Like we heard in the campfire something about him liking toys, toy cars. So when someone throws a keychain and he hears it and he's looking at this toy car and maybe you have a fleeting remembrance of something until he steps out of it and crushes it. There's not a whole lot of that. I actually would not have minded even more of that to be in it, but it is what it is. like I said, there are a lot of moments where you are with him walking, and again, if you're not knowing that to begin with, you might be like bored. But to me, it's like to repeat myself. I was enjoying the gimmick. I do think the big mistake they did was the ending. Just super spoilers. The girl sees that her, I guess, boyfriend, whoever has been killed, get that brutal axe to the head, and beat the hell out of by this Johnny guy with his axe. So she has the gas can, but she puts it down, but she puts the locket on it. As if, hey, this is what you want, you got it, and then just runs off. She does get to the road. This woman picks her up. Now, they don't get attacked or anything, but this lady who picked her up tells this 10, 12-minute story about how her brother was attacked by a bear and how he survived and what people thought the bear was and why he was doing what he was doing and what happened to your brother? Well, this happened. What happened to the bear? Well, this happened. And it's in there going, the fact it lasts for like 10 minutes just really killed the momentum. And they're trying to do with the whole, they're looking at this killer like an animal, that it goes by instinct. So sometimes it may not explain fully why it does what it does. Then the truck stops so that the lady could bandage our lead lady's wound. She looks through the trees, but she sees nothing there. And it cuts to various parts, and then you see the gas can, but you see the locket is gone. So is the killer still out there, like the end of Halloween, Michael Myers, or did he do what he wanted and went back to his peaceful slumber? I don't know. I guess if they make the sequel, there's room. Which I would not mind, because you could keep the gimmick and tweak some things. Make the characters a bit stronger, better written. Commit fully to being with the killer 100%, not every once in a blue moon. They don't do not a whole lot, to be fair, so which is nice. But like the campfire bed and again, that ending, they should have changed it. Let the girl live, that's fine. Let her get picked up by this woman, that's fine. But have it end where it began. Where he's maybe chasing her, and she's doing all this stuff, but then she finally gets to lock it, and he kind of stops and freezes and looks at her as she just picked up by this lady, and they drive away. And maybe walks 2 or 3 feet, stops, turns, picks up the locket, does one of this, or puts it, whatever case, then walks away, walks back. And I don't know, you'd even have it where he walks to the woods, he disappears to the woods, like with the trees swallow him up, you know, by the time you keep walking, you're gonna be gone eventually. Have a pause for a few beats, then cut to the lot that's on the ground. Maybe you see like a little bit of the ground go or something like that. Like you just see like a little bit, with the lock on top, and it's like, oh, well, there you go. As simple as that is, I think that would have kept with its pacing more than this, again, 10-minute pretentious, oh, you get it, this killer's like a bear, it's an animal, and instinct and blah blah blah. I'm like, come on. People could figure that out on their own without you having to stop the movie and explain it for your last 10 minutes. So to me, that's the biggest mistake. It was like, come on, what are you doing? But the rest of it, for the most part, I liked it. I liked the different take on it. So it made it feel a bit more fresh. So There you go. With that said, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys later. Bye-bye for now.